一个外国人无私的到台湾来远渡重洋，然后到台湾来帮助台湾，他已经为东海大学贡献了35年，就像 Rose 教授一样，已经帮东海做了50几年，所以我是觉得这些外国人真的是对东海非常非常的好，所以今天我们就请 James 开始演讲。James，it's your turn now.
OK，不好意思，不要跟我说那个 Rose 那么厉害啊，我没有那么厉害啊。Dr. Rose, don't even use my name with her name. 我不好意思，我真的要用英文跟中文的。我刚才看到那个 former Vice President Cao is a member here. I want to first say Vice President Cao was very important in the start of the international college. So, Vice President Cao, thank you very much. I hope you can hear me. 中文有一句话，好的开始是成功的一半。So we had a good start because of Vice President Cao. So thank you very much. 我真的很高兴有这个机会跟大家说，我们可以介绍那个 International College。我觉得那个我们的 International College is doing a pretty good job, and I think we can really help promote Tunghai, especially on the international college. So today I'll probably use maybe a little Chinese and speak mostly in English. 如果有问题的话可以问啊。所以我觉得最重要的给大家认识我们的国际学院。好 ，OK. First of all, I've been at Tunghai for a long time. I've been at Tunghai for 35 years. When I first came to Tunghai, I had a lot of hair. I always say I lost two things at Tunghai. I lost my hair and I lost my heart. Because my wife is from Tunghai, and I really do love teaching at Tunghai. I love the students, and I really love Tunghai. So I'm very happy to say I lost two things at Tunghai. I lost my hair and I lost my heart. But anyway, I've been at Tunghai for a long time in many, many different jobs. I think the most important thing is what is the purpose of the international college? 为什么有一个国际学院? And I think the most important thing is that we can help with the internationalization of the university. And we can also help improve Tunghai international ranking and domestic ranking. Tunghai, many, many years ago, used to have many, many foreign teachers. When I first came to Tunghai in the 外文系，那个大部分的老师都是外籍老师。But because of the way the Taiwan education system has developed, it's important to do a lot of research and publications. And as a result, Tunghai has followed the trend. But for international ranking, the number of foreign faculty members you have is also very important. So I think the international college can serve as a home for international faculty members, so that we can help improve the ranking of the university. Also, domestic ranking too is also very important. And when they look at domestic ranking, 那个台湾里面的那个排名的话，那个国际计划也很重要的。So I think we can help with both the ranking of the university, both internationally and in Taiwan. But most importantly, we can help improve the internationalization of the university. What I mean by internationalization, I mean not just only having international students and international teachers, but also having our students go overseas. We try to get many of our students to study overseas. International college, we have 3 programs. We have International Business Administration, and we also have Sustainability Science Engineering program, and we have Interdisciplinary Degree program. Interdisciplinary Degree program in Chinese is called 部分系. 部分系 is basically for students who maybe not know what they want to study their first 2 years. It's sort of like American universities. When you go to American university, you don't always know what your major will be. 部分系 gives students the opportunity to come in and then study different areas and then decide what they want to study. So I think this is a good opportunity. The IDP program 部分系 is only for international students. It's not for the domestic students. 都是外籍学生，我们没有本地学生，那个部分系而已。But that's because in the 部分系 we help them learn their Chinese, so they concentrate on studying Chinese. So after 1 year, they can transfer it to another department. The IBA program is a business program. It's a very general, basic program, business program. It's all of our required courses are very similar to every business program around the world. We try to encourage our students to study in Taiwan for 2 or 3 years and then go overseas for 1 year or 2 years. Our sustainability program is relatively new. Vice President Chao, thank you very much. But Vice President Chao was very influential in starting the sustainability program. So thank you very much. So basically we have 3 programs in international college. Where do our students come from? We have students and teachers from more than 30 different countries. We have students from America, Canada, South America, Japan, Korea, Indonesia, Malaysia. We have a big international group. We have students from all over the world that come into the international college. Not only our students, but also our teachers. Most of the teachers in the international college are from outside of Taiwan. All right. We have a new home. We have a new building that we got 2 years ago. And like I said, about 33%, about a third of our students are from outside of Taiwan. And about 80% of our teachers are from outside of Taiwan. We're really international college. We really have an international environment. What's the advantages of the international college? We are a truly English program. 其实很多大学说，我们有那个 English program， 可是大部分的时候，那个 English program 是什么意思？那个课本是英文，老师会说中文，考试的时候要用中文，报告的时候要用中文。But that's not really the case. Our program is really a truly all English program because we have so many teachers who don't speak any Chinese, and we also have so many students who don't speak Chinese. So it's really, really English program. It's also an international environment. I think this is really special about the international college is it's an international environment. If students want to go get an international experience in Taiwan, we can offer it. For most students, studying overseas is not an option. 真的美国的学费真的很贵，大部分的学生没有办法去美国念书，真的我们的美国学费真的很贵。But they can get a similar kind of experience in Taiwan for our students, for our domestic students, from 我们本地学生可以真的有这个一个国际的机会。This is very important, and it's also very good for recruitment. Very good recruitment. 其实我们的国际学院的学费是东海是最贵的 but it's still a lot cheaper. Still a lot cheaper than going to school overseas. And with the COVID situation in the last 2 years, a lot of students have not want to go overseas, but they can still get an international experience here in the international college. Strangely though, over the last 2 years, the number of students coming to Taiwan to study has actually increased. During the COVID area, we actually get more international students coming. I think part of it is they don't want to go to other countries. Taiwan has done such a good job taking care of COVID that people want to come to Taiwan to study. So in some ways, COVID has been good for us because we get more students coming here, but it's been bad for us because few of our students go outside of Taiwan. We also offer our students opportunities to study overseas. We have these 2+2 programs, 3+2 programs, 3+1 programs, a lot of options for our students. We have, I'll talk about the schools later, But the 2+2 means 2 years at Tunghai, then 2 years at our partner school, and get 2 degrees. 1 degree from Tunghai, 1 degree from our partner school. 3+1, 3 years at Tunghai, 1 year overseas. 3+2 is probably the best. 3+2 means 3 years at Tunghai and 2 years overseas. Bachelor's degree from Tunghai, master's degree from the partner school. We have these kind of relationships with schools in America, with schools in Australia, schools in England, schools in Germany, schools in France. So students have a lot of choices of universities they want to study at, these dual degree programs. And the real advantage to them, these kind of dual degree program, is that if you spend 3 years at Tunghai and then 2 years overseas, you can save a lot of money. Because if you go to America for 4 years or 5 years to study, a lot of students cannot afford that. So it's an affordable option for students along that line. In addition to dual degree, we also have exchange programs. Exchange program means that they pay Tunghai tuition and then they go to one of our partnership schools for 1 semester or for 1 year. And it's a good way to save money. The difference between dual degree and exchange, dual degree means they get 2 different degrees. They get a degree from Tunghai and they also get a degree from our partner school. Exchange program, they only get a degree from Tunghai. Not only do we offer the opportunities for our students to go overseas, but we also host a lot of our partner schools for those students to come here. Because exchange program, you have to have it equal. You have to have a balance. If only our students go there, then those universities don't want to accept our students if their students don't come to us. So we have the opportunity to host students, not only send students out, but also for students to come in. I think this is also very important. We also offer our students an opportunity to interact with global leaders. Taichung is still the headquarters for the bicycle industry, for R&D for bicycle industry, for the shoe industry, and also high tech and machine. Most shoes are not made in Taiwan, but Nike, of every major shoe company has an R&D office here in Taichung. Every major bicycle company, they don't make the bikes here, but they have their R&D offices here. So we have chances for our students to do internships here in Taichung. I'm a member of the board of the American Chamber of Commerce for Taichung. And because of that, we've got a lot of connections with international businesses for our students to have internships. So it's very important, not only for our students to study content knowledge, but also to have the opportunity to interact with the business and industry. So we try to provide that. A lot of departments do that. The difference is that we have more connections with the international corporations. So I'll talk more about that. And I think one of the biggest difference is that the environment in the international college, we're very focused on developing the student. We have a very nurturing environment, and we have a good relationship between students and teachers. Our students and teachers interact a lot together. Last time, Albert was talking about the Boya program. In a lot of ways, the international college has the same philosophy and approach to education as the Boya program. So we take that into consideration. In fact, that's what we're going to talk about next. We have our own general education courses, and our general education courses, we take what's called a liberal arts college approach. And that's basically what Albert was talking about last time. And that's what we do. And we have certain courses that we offer for our students that count as their general education courses. And they relate to personal identity, arts and culture. They're what I would call general education courses, but with a liberal arts approach along that line. This is one of the unique features of the international college. Now, from the two students' perspectives, what do the students get? All right. Students get to interact with high caliber classmates. One of the important things is the connections you build in school. the relationships you have with your classmates. Coming to school, what you study, the content knowledge is important, but probably what's even more important is the relationships you build, the connections you build. And in the program, our students for the different programs tend to be pretty good, a little better, probably better than most departments. So the students have the opportunity to build good relationships with high caliber classmates. Also, we have a high quality program. I'll talk about the curriculum in a little while. When I say high caliber program, I mean that the classes that we offer are the key courses for each of the content area. So when you study business, the courses that we offer are those key courses that are for a business area. Sustainability the same way along that line. Other thing from the student perspective is that we help students build a road for the future. I want to say this, about 1/3 of our students, after they graduate, they go to graduate schools. And our students get accepted by top tier colleges around the world. And these universities around the world would not accept our students if they did not think that they were from a good program. 20, 30 years ago, 50 years ago, when Tunghai students graduated, international universities knew how good Tunghai students were. And so say when they looked at it, say, oh, this student is from Tunghai. Wow, 一定很厉害. But now the international college is helping to reestablish this kind of image for Tunghai. Like I said before, these schools will not accept our students if they did not think they were from a good program. Also, like I said earlier, students get an international experience. I think this is probably the most important thing. The students get an international experience. If you look at this picture here, this is students who are doing a project for the sustainability program. I'll talk a little bit about that in a second. These are the required courses for the business program. If you look at the required courses, they're just basically the same required courses for any kind of business program. They have to take economics, they have to take accounting, they have to take a management along that line. These are only the required courses. In addition to the required courses, they also have to take an area of concentration. Whether they want to focus on a different area, we have a series of those courses. All of our required courses, students can finish in their first 3 years. The fourth year, there are no required courses. We do this, the students will have the opportunity to study overseas. If they want to go overseas to study for 1 year, 可以啊. Or if they want to do a minor or a major, they can do a minor or major in a different area. 其实很多系啊，他们的必修课要4年才可以学好了。问题是如果他们要出国的话，就是4年以内毕业不容易啊，还是要一个 minor， 还是要一个 double major。如果必修课那么多的话，真不容易啊。So we try to make it easier for our students to study overseas, and we also try to make it so that if they want to study something else, they can. If they want to study finance, they can. If they want to study accounting, they can. So I think it's important to give students opportunities to broaden their horizon, to study many different things. This is the required course for the sustainability program. The most important thing about the sustainability program is it's project oriented. That means the students have to do something with what they learn. It's not a matter of only learning book knowledge, but it's also about application, being able to do something. So students, when they come in from their first year, they start thinking about a senior project because they have to do some kind of project within that time frame. We have students doing projects of a whole many different things. Whatever they're interested in, they can focus their project on it. We have students from small islands in the Pacific, and they're doing research about regrowing mangrove forests so their islands don't disappear. We have students doing research on mangrove regrowth, the mangrove forest regrowth. We have students doing research on microplastics in the ocean. Microplastics in rivers. We have students doing research on the mealworm. The mealworm is a kind of worm. It can eat plastic and dissolve plastic. So they're looking on the way to isolate the enzyme inside of a mealworm so they can use it to basically dissolve plastic and microplastics along that line. The key thing about the sustainability program is that the students have to be able to do something with what they study. If they find something, an area they're interested in, they have to research it, they have to come up with a project, and in the fourth year, their senior year, they need to be able to do something. Actually, the project is something that we could really use alumni help with. If alumni are willing to sponsor or advise students in their projects, that will be very good. If you have any kind of expertise or in a certain area, or you want to help sponsor a student in their project, we can use that kind of help for the sustainability program. Actually, I feel kind of guilty about the young generation. To be honest, I will only be alive for maybe another 20 years. After 20 years, I'll be gone. But our young students, they will still be here for another 60, 70 years. What kind of planet are we leaving for the younger generation? And I think it's important for us to teach the younger generation that they have to solve the problem that we're leaving them. They can't count on us to leave them a good and healthy environment. If they want a good, healthy environment, they're going to have to do it themselves. So that's what sustainability is about. Basically, helping students with that. The other one is the 部分系 program. It's for international students. And if you look at it, most of the classes they take are actually related to Chinese learning. It's a Chinese language program for international students. One of the things right now for international students who want to come to Taiwan and they want to study in a program that's taught in Chinese, they have to spend 5 years. They have to spend 1 year studying Chinese. After they study Chinese, then they have to apply to another department and then 4 more years. With the IDP program, they can do it in 4 years. They come in the first year, and the first year they take courses concentrated in Chinese. They take some general education courses, and then they can transfer into another program. For example, if they're interested in maybe chemistry or chemical engineering or other subjects that are taught in English, that are taught in Chinese, they can come in first and improve their Chinese and then transfer into those programs and graduate within 4 years. If they don't want to stay in IDP for all 4 years, they can stay there for 4 years. But they have to get some kind of minor from another department. But I really hope that they all will transfer out. They will all go to other departments. I see 部分系 as a gateway in to Tunghai, but not an exit from Tunghai. What I mean is they come into IDP for 1 year, but they leave Tunghai from a different program. They leave from whatever they're interested in. Also, in the IDP program, we give opportunities for other departments to come in and introduce their programs to our students, so students can decide what they want to study. To be honest, a lot of young people, when they go to university, they really do not know what they want to study. They haven't really decided on a major. And this gives them an opportunity for our international students to explore, to learn about different programs, and then decide what they want to study. This is what I was talking about interaction with international leaders. We provide opportunities for business people to come in and talk to our students, to share about their leadership experience, and hopefully to get our students opportunities for internships and actually jobs after graduation. We've had the president of the American Chamber of Commerce. Also, PFD is a big shoe company. People don't know the name of the company, but they make most of the military boots for almost every army in the world. And Global Water Solution is a big water company, water purification I'm sure everybody know about ICRT. And then also Intercon. Intercon is a wind turbine company from Germany. It's a big German company. And right now in Taiwan, they're building a lot of wind turbines. And a lot of these companies are looking for people who can communicate and help them do business in Taiwan. And Micron is, of course, a big computer chip. And then we also have Henry Stein. Henry Stein is one of the world's biggest medical equipment company. It's in the Fortune 500. And then Morrison Academy, which is one of the American schools here. Ritchie Bicycle is a big bike company. And Nike, we had the innovation director from Nike come in and talk to the students. And then we had the pastor come in and talked about Christmas. And then we have Bosch, the Asian representative of Bosch. Bosch is the big German tool company along that line. And then we also take a field trip down to, not down, up to Hsinchu to visit TSMC along that line. And then we also have a lawyer come in and talk to students about how to apply for jobs and how to look for jobs. But the important thing is we try to give our students a chance to interact with the international community in Taiwan, especially Taichung. Taichung still is the headquarters for R&D for a lot of major companies. This is something I'm very proud of. We work with Fulbright Taiwan for what we call the mini semester. Most American universities, their second semester is finished by early May. But in Taiwan, our semester ends at the end of June. So what we do is we take our second semester, which is 18 weeks, and we divide it up into 13 weeks plus 5 weeks. So for the first 13 weeks, students go to class 4 hours a week. Instead of 3 hours a week, they go 4 hours a week and they finish up early. And the last 5 weeks, we invite students and teachers from American universities to come and take classes with our students and teachers. So basically, it gives our students a chance to get an American educational experience in Taiwan, and it gives the American students a chance to learn about Taiwan. We have classes that are related to Chinese language learning for international students. So of course, when they come to Taiwan, they want to learn Chinese. We have business-related courses. We have sustainability-related courses. And we also have arts and culture classes. Arts and culture class could be like things like tea. It could be about music along that line. Basically, the courses depend upon what the American teachers want to teach and what their students want to take. Right now, we're working with about 15 colleges in the US. We have students coming from Pittsburgh University, University of Pittsburgh, from Davidson College, from Temple University, from Northeastern University. We have students coming from Trinity University, Bethel University, Chatham University. We have students and teachers coming from many different universities in America. Right now, a lot of people are very interested, a lot of American schools are very interested in coming to Taiwan, especially to learn Chinese. Even before COVID, American schools are nervous about sending their students to China. So this is a good opportunity for Taiwan. It's a good opportunity for Tunghai. What's special about this is that our visas are through Fulbright Taiwan, and our visas for our students and teachers are from 外交部,不是教育部,是外交部. And we still can have our students come this year, even though other students in other programs can't come. But of course, our students and teachers still have to do quarantine, right? They still have to do quarantine. But it's one of the only ways students can come into Taiwan. Right now, we have 35 students who are planning to come in May. But we'll have to see because of hopefully in Taiwan, hopefully the quarantine requirements will be reduced. Right now, it's hopefully too long, but we'll see. But the most important thing is that we have students coming here And a lot of times after they come to Taiwan, they only come for 5 weeks, but then they want to stay longer or they will come back. And they can learn about Donghai. They can learn about the culture of Taiwan. And it's a good opportunity for everybody. We're working with some really big schools. And next year, if there's no COVID, I hope to have over 100 students from America. I hope to have a lot of students come in. And so we'll have to wait and see. This year, we have 35 students coming. And I'm actually very happy about that because of COVID. For our alumni, I encourage to have your children or your grandchildren come to the program. We've actually had the grandchildren of Donghai alumni come to the program. They want to come and study Chinese or help improve their Chinese for a little while. So they come for 5 weeks. It's in American universities. It's what they call Summer One exchange program. And it runs from usually the 3rd week in May until the end of June. This is when most American universities have already finished and their students go overseas. So it used to be, there was a school called Fudan in Shanghai that a lot of American students used to go to. But I think instead of going to Fudan, why not come to Donghai? Why not offer a summer program for American students here at Donghai? We can do a good job. We can do a better job. Students, what we do is we have classes Monday through Thursday. Students can earn 6 credits, 1 class in the morning, 1 class in the afternoon. There are no classes on Friday. Friday is for cultural activities. So one Friday we'll go to Sun Moon Lake. One Friday we'll go to Lugang. One Friday we'll go to Tainan. And one Friday, of course, we'll go to Taipei 101. This is important because we want the American students to come here and we want them to interact with our students. This is very important so that they both have cultural exchanges. Also for the American students that they come here, they won't know anything. They don't know where to go to eat, right? They go to McDonald's, they're going to spend a lot of money. So our students can show them where to eat. And also the American students can share their culture with our students. So the plan is to have the teachers and students come together and take classes, and the classes are offered by our teachers, the American teachers, and take classes together. Last year, we only had 8 students come from America, but I'm very happy with that because last year, the day before the students were supposed to come, Taiwan had their instituted the quarantine. They had to quarantine for 2 weeks. Originally, we were supposed to have 30 students come, but most of them canceled because of the quarantine period. But this year and next year, we are looking for it to be bigger and better. And if you have any grandchildren or children who are in university and they want to study overseas for summertime, tell them that Donghai is a good option. They can come to Donghai. They can learn Chinese. They can take business courses. They can take sustainability courses, or they can take general education courses. This next picture here shows a map of all the different countries that our students have gone to. Not where our students are from, but where they have studied from the first year. From our first year, about 78% of our students studied overseas. And they've gone to many different countries around the world. This is also very important for Donghai's ranking, international ranking. It's not only the number of international students you have or the international number of students, a number of faculty you have, but also how many of your students actually study overseas. We have a very interactive learning approach. That means we're not a traditional program. Our teachers don't stand in the front of the class and lecture, and then you have a midterm and final exams. Our students have to do a lot of projects and reports. This is a picture here. Our students participated in a protest about, I don't remember what it was, but they participated in some kind of environmental protest. It's important to have students find a passion. We're actually a growing family. What I mean by that is every year we get more and more students for international students along that line. Like I said earlier, we have a real international experience for students. I talked about that before. The SSC program is showing a lot of success. Our first couple years, the SSC programs had a lot of problem. People didn't know what SSC was. They didn't know what is sustainability. But over time, we've hired some good teachers, and our students' projects have been top quality. There's something called Mission to Mars that they have at the Science Museum every year. And always the best projects they have there are by our sustainability students. They always do a good job with that. I mentioned about the mini semester beforehand, opportunities for students to come in from American universities. Another special thing is that we have a mentor program. These are designed to help students make the transition from high school to university. We hire students who just graduated from American universities, and they come in and help our students with their English, because most of our students, for our Bundy station and the students from Taiwan, they're not used to studying in English, and their English communication skills may not be that good. So our mentors can help them with that. When they work with an old teacher like me, I'm an old man. They prefer working with younger people, so they can help them with their learning how to be a student. 现在我们的学生高中的学生真的不一样。我没有说比较不好，就是不一样。They don't have the same kind of discipline that students in the past had, so they need help to learn how to study. In high school, they're so dependent on the teacher. The teacher tells them everything to do. 老师说什么就做什么. They don't know how to be independent. So our mentors can teach them how to be independent, and also help them with their language issues. Writing a report in English and writing a report in Chinese is different. You just can't go on the internet and copy and paste something. You have to follow certain writing standards, and our mentors can help them with that. They also host cultural activities like Christmas and Thanksgiving and other activities. It gives the students a chance to learn about cultural events. They also help students prepare for academic classes. So sometimes students have to go to an industry like Micron and interview somebody. They can help them prepare for those kind of situations. All right. And also they help students prepare to study overseas. When students want to study overseas, they have to fill out like a common app, or they have to use that university's application online. And they already done it. They already applied to American universities, so they know how to do it. So they can help students to study overseas and apply to study in different universities. These are some of the schools that we have dual degrees with: University of Rhode Island, Trinity University, Temple University, Reims Business School in France, Nottingham Trent, Andrews University, New South Wales, Southern Cross University, University of West England, and University of Florida. Dual degree means they study at Tunghai for 1 or 2 years. Study at Tunghai for 2 or 3 years, and then go to one of our partner schools for a few years. Here's a different list of the different programs and the different options that we have for them. Okay. What do we need your help with? This is what we need help with. Okay. First of all is this: we need your help with spreading the good news about the quality of the International College. I honestly believe that the International College is doing a good job. People like to talk about the bad things at Tunghai, but I think we should start talking about the good things at Tunghai. And I think the International College is one of the good things. So it's very easy to talk about the bad, but let's talk about the good too. So please help us spread the good news about the International College. The other thing we can use help with is building partnerships for other schools. If you have any connections with other schools, in America or schools, any other countries, we are always looking for opportunities for exchanges and dual degrees. And when I say exchanges, I don't mean for our students to go there only, but also for their students to come here. We have to improve the brand for Tunghai. Tunghai is a good school, but if nobody knows about it, nobody knows about it. We have to do a better job of promoting the good things about our universities. And one of those ways is to have students and teachers come here. And when they come here and they say, wow, Tunghai is really good, it spreads the word. So please help us spread the word. The other thing is recommend students to come to Tunghai. All right. If you're in America right now, you have a grandkid and they don't know where they want to study. Hey, Tunghai is a good option. I'm serious. Tunghai is a good option. All right. They can come here. If their Chinese is good, yay. If their Chinese not good, that's okay. Come here and improve their Chinese. It's been my experience about alumni. The first generation, usually the children, really don't care that much about it. It's usually the grandkids that want to get in touch with the roots. So if you have grandchildren, encourage them to come, right? Another thing that we need help with is both programs attract good international students. The international students for IPA, international students for the SSE program is really good. But we have problems recruiting domestic students for the SSE program. Part of it is nobody knows what SSE is. Nobody knows what sustainability is. What we did though this year, we offered, because of Tunghai alumni, we were able to offer a scholarship for SSE students. And this year we had the best class for SSE that we've ever had. Students don't come for the scholarships, but the scholarships encourage them to think about it. Most of the time when we introduce sustainability, students will say, what is that? I don't know anything about sustainability. I don't care about it. But we say, hey, if you come, sustainability is so important to us that we'll give you your scholarships. Students will take a second look. They won't just say, no way. They say, hey, wait a minute. Let me look at this. Let me look more about it. Let me take a closer look at this. So the scholarships is actually to encourage students to take a closer look of it. The way the scholarship work is this. For any student who come in through the the application process, we give them a 30,000 NT scholarship. They get 15,000 NT after the midterm exams. If they have good grades and they do well, they get $15,000 after the first semester midterm exam. And then in the second semester, if they do well after the midterm exam, we give them another $15,000 as a scholarship. So basically, we use it in two ways. We use it to encourage students to come in and study in the program. And we also use it as an encouragement to focus on their study. So it kills two birds with one stone. It helps us get good students, and it helps students to be good students. Now, methods of giving. All right, for people in America, you can give via the United Board. The good thing about the United Board is this U.S. tax deductible, and here's a link to it. If you give money via the UB United Board, please mark under it for international college. If you give it to Tunghai, that's great, but if it goes to Tunghai, the international college will never see it. Right? So it's very important that if you give money and you want to give to the international college, under Tunghai, under institutional option, please click on international college. All right, because otherwise you're giving to Tunghai, which is good, but from my perspective, it doesn't come to us. So that's the last slide.